So instead of reacting to behavior, we need to look past behavior like God did and go, oh, that's not who you are. You are, and speak to the truth of who they are. So I'll give you the example that God walked me through in real time. I didn't, I didn't, I did this. God showed me this like 15 years before I understood the concept of it. But my son was about a year and a half old. He has Down syndrome, so not even typical. And now I know that every 18-month-old is pretty much in the same brain space. It doesn't matter. We think they can think and reason and understand they can't. But he had done something I told him repeatedly not to do. And when I came in the room and discovered it, and I said, got upset like parents do and got real stern and said, get over here right now. And he's happily playing across the room. And he looks over his shoulder at me and sees how, oh, she's not in a good mood. So I say, come over here right now. And he says, no, no. And I'm like, I say his name and I put his middle name in, Jonathan David. We always think that's going to really, get his attention. You get over here right now. No. Now the arms are crossing, the whole body language is like, not coming over there. So I stopped and I said, and I just let him go back to what he was doing. And I just literally whispered, I said, Lord, I've never had a special needs child. I don't know what to do. What do I do? Immediately the Holy Spirit said, tell him he is obedient. I was like, what? Tell him he's obedient. And it reminded me of a situation I had when Jonathan was only 2 weeks old. And it was a similar situation. And I won't mix the two stories because I'll get off track. But the Lord had told me to tell him something that changed changed his life, really. But I said, oh, and I remembered that. And I thought, oh, okay, well, let me try that. So I go, Jonathan, you're obedient. And immediately, Mark Marie, I saw something in him like respond, light up. And it was like, what? What's that? And I saw it. And so then it encouraged me. And I thought, okay, we're onto something here. I go, you're so obedient. He stands up and turns around. And I was just like watching this unfold and I'm just blown away. And I said, and now I'm genuinely happy because first I was upset and I was just trying to act like I wasn't upset. But now I'm genuinely like excited. So I'm smiling, a real smile now. And they go, you're so obedient. You always do what mommy says. He breaks out in this grin from ear to ear, runs across the room and flings his arms around my neck. And I was like, what did I just do? And like I said, it was many years before I understood what I just did. But it was, I was calling his true identity out, that godlike nature that was in there, but dormant. It was almost like calling Lazarus out is always what I think about, come out of there. I know you're in there. You're so obedient. That's who you really are. That's part of his identity. It's part of all our identity because we're all made in God's image and God's obedient, right? So it's a matter of just identifying their true identity and speaking to that and treating them as if that's who they are and they will be, because we're all craving that. Who am I? We come into the world. Who am I? And the feedback we get tells us that we're our behavior and we're not.